Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fallout 76 Public Test Server, or the PTS. Today I'm just doing a little preview of one of the new features, Daily Ops. These are repeatable, high-level dungeons that will eventually be coming to the game. They're currently slated for patch 22, but if the past is any indicator, it won't shock me to see this and any other number of features get pushed back a little bit. Two important notes about the PTS. First, you're going to see unreleased content, and while I'm not going to go into the stories that are attached to it, it could be considered a spoiler, so if you don't want to see anything even remotely spoilery, there's an eye popping up right about now that you can click on and watch something else. The other note is that it's important to remember that this is a test server. It's not the live game. We may see some bugs or glitches that won't be representative of the final content, and there may be changes to certain mechanics before it goes live too, so I wouldn't recommend using this as a guide. I'll publish one of those after the final version releases. Alright, if you're good to go, so am I. Remember, if you like videos like this one, you can go ahead and subscribe. I always have lots of Fallout 76 content in the works. Now, before we get into everything, I know everybody out there is worried about all the damage changes on the PTS, but I'm not getting into that today. I think the best thing to do is wait and see how things shake out. This is just the first iteration on a major change, so I'm not ready to jump to any conclusions just yet. I just think it's too soon for that. Now, moving on to the good news. Daily Ops are awesome. There are definitely a few things I hope get ironed out a bit, and we'll talk about those. But as a whole, these are really fun, very challenging, and have a ton of good rewards attached. There's very little not to like here. There's also a small story, a new Brotherhood of Steel NPC who can be found in Watoga, who's linked to Daily Ops. You don't actually need to talk to the NPC to be able to participate, but if you want some story and a little more lead up to the Brotherhood's return, it'll be there. I won't cover it here so as not to spoil any of it, but the character is pretty memorable, and they lay a believable foundation for the new content. Now, let's talk about how Daily Ops work. To start one, you'll go to your map and look in the lower left. There you'll see the Daily Op that's currently available. Clicking on it will give you a deeper description. This tells us the location of the op, the enemies we'll be facing, and the mutations that they have. In this case, we'll be in the Valley Galleria, facing robots that all have freezing touch and piercing gaze mutations. This means that all the enemies inside the op will freeze us when they attack, and have this new piercing gaze mutation that essentially just negates all ability to sneak. So, no sneak attack bonuses, and everything knows where you are. There are a variety of mutations that the enemies can have. Piercing gaze, at least for now, is going to be present for every single daily op. This is one thing I hope they change. As a stealth build, I'd like to be able to do some of these using my preferred playstyle, at least some of the time. Aside from that, there's one where enemies explode on death, another where they're invisible until they attack, and another called Resilient, where the only thing that will kill them is a melee attack. You can shoot them down to a sliver of health, but only a gun bash or melee attack will actually kill them. So far, I've only seen freezing and resilient. Aside from the mutations, the enemy types rotate as well. There can be blood eagles, robots, or super mutants. I've only seen robots and super mutants so far. On top of that, there are 4 locations the ops can happen in: Valley Galleria, the Burning Mine, Vault 94, and the Burrows. Each daily op is instanced to you and your team, so if you select it from the map, you'll be teleported right inside the location. If your teammate is already doing an op, you'll join them. If you start a new one and they join after you, then they'll join you. If you're solo, nobody else will enter your instance. There's also a new public team type called Daily Ops, which gives you an XP bonus for completing these quests. But more importantly, it tells other players that you want to run Daily Ops, so hopefully you'll get some help. Honestly, you'll need it. One of the great parts about Daily Ops is that you can run them as many times as you want. The only limitation is that you only get 3 chances at the best rewards each day. If you finish in under 16 minutes, you get the Initiate rank, with only a small chance at the most desirable rewards, which are Basically a variety of really cool camp plans and outfits. If you make it in under 12 minutes, you'll get the Paladin rank and a slightly better chance at them. And if you finish in under 8 minutes, you'll get the Elder rank and a dramatically better chance at the really good stuff. If you don't finish in less than 16 minutes, or you've already unlocked all your rewards for the day, you still get the base rewards, some XP, a legendary item, and some in-game currency. Now that we know all about how daily ops work, I'll walk you through a successful run that came in under 8 minutes.
This is Initiate Dodge. We've lost contact with the uplinks in your area. We'll need them operational if we hope to keep tabs on the enemy. The uplinks won't work until the signal repeater's been repaired. That's priority one. Now get moving.
Our first objective is to find and repair the Brotherhood signal repeater.
Perfect. There's the connection from the signal repeater. Your next target is the first uplink.
This op is of course called Uplink. Right now this is the only one that's available. From what we understand, there's going to be more in the future, but this is the first one they've rolled out on the test server, so that's the one we're going to try. The next step is to go ahead and find the uplinks, repair them, and then protect them from the enemies. What I've found is the easiest thing to do, and probably the smartest thing to do to complete at speed, is to just kind of ignore the enemies and make a beeline to where these things are. They can be tough to find, but once you've done it a few times, you kind of get a feel for where they're at.
There we go. I'm seeing the signal calibration has started. It's weak, but it's there. Keep an eye on it.
Once you've repaired it, you'll have to defend from waves of enemies. So in this case, I have a few teammates here with me, and the way this works is as long as everybody is close to the uplink, then you get a speed bonus where it will find its signal or repair itself or whatever exactly it is that it's doing quicker. The key is to just fight off the enemies on the way. And in here, because I have no stealth, even though I'm a stealth commando build, I'm using a vampire's weapon with robots. They hit hard and they hit fast. And with their freezing attack, they really slow you down. So if you get frozen and you need to reload, you're kind of screwed if there's a couple of them on you. So now we've got some other teammates making their way to the area, and we can see that we're speeding up a little bit. And we can see that, you know, I don't do a ton of damage here. I'm just using a vampire's weapon. I don't have any kind of stealth bonuses, so that doesn't help a whole lot, but we're getting the job done, and honestly, the extra shots with the vampire's weapon are keeping my health full. The other thing you'll notice as I loot the robots here is that they're dropping the ammo that I'm killing them with. That is one of the really, really good design choices that developers made with this event. It makes it a lot more ammo friendly, so you're not really gonna spend a ton as long as you can find time to loot the enemies. That in and of itself can be hard, but it can be done, especially if you've got a group with you. You just have to get comfortable with the event and sort of learn how everything works.
Calibration is complete. We need both for proper connection. Head to the second uplink.
And now I'll make my way to the second uplink, and this event is happening inside the burning mine, which is really cool because it's an awesome location and there just really wasn't anything here before, so I'm glad to see that they found a use for it. In here, you do want to keep an eye out for damage over time.
More like it. Stay close. Make sure the job gets done.
But again, same thing, we're going to have waves of robots. This time everybody's already with me, so we've got a nice speed bonus right away. And if you do these, assuming that this mechanic sticks the way it is now, you know, you want to make sure that you stay close to this thing. You don't want to wander off looking for enemies. It can be tempting, but it's all about speed, and with 4 people here, we can definitely handle them. I've got to fix my weapon. I'm putting a lot more shots through it than I usually do without my sneak attacks. It really makes a big difference in here. It also doesn't help that I'm not at low health, so I'm at full health. It's a vampire's weapon, so there's no legendary damage bonus. The only thing I've got helping me out are my commando perk cards. But it actually works out okay. I've tried to run the event with robots before with a bloodied handmaid, and it was just constant death. There's no way, without being able to hide, that I could stay alive for more than 10 seconds at a time. It was just terrible.
Alright, I got a connection from both uplinks. Get going. Don't get comfortable. I'm getting readings on something big and bad near you. Head over.
And now we have some more enemies coming in. This is a lead up to a boss fight. Just keep taking them down. And once we take out enough of them, we'll find out that there's a boss in the area. We can see that VATS is as reliable as ever.
Well, hell, you found yourself a priority target, team. Do Appalachia a favor and kill it quick.
Yeah, we'll try. So, in the robot version of this, the priority target is a level 100 Assaultron that has miniguns for arms. I always joke that Assaultrons made me feel dirty, but this one makes me feel dirty and terrified.
These uplinks are invaluable to understanding hostile activity in the region. Till next time, dodge out.
I'm really glad I had people show up to help with this one. Going solo, I was able to get up to the Paladin rank on my own, but to get to an under 8-minute finish, you really do need at least one other person there with you to help speed up the clock. And that's going to do it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to go ahead and subscribe and leave a like. I've got plenty of Fallout 76 content coming every week on the channel, so I hope to see you next time.